Hi, it's Colin Cowherd. Hi, it's Colin Cowherd. Hi, it's Colin Cowherd. Let's go to Kansas City. It was a pretty rocky first half for them. So
and then the steel curtain broke out in the second half. Second half was a little shutout, Colin. KC defense, second half shutout, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
It's Taylor Heineke. Let's slow down. But nonetheless, it's one of those things where I feel the same way about the Chiefs I do with the Packers. They're just not right. Now forget defense for both. Neither has a great defense. But even Green Bay against Chicago, the offensive line's not as good. They're very dependent on Devontae Adams. When I watch Kansas City, you have a more discerning eye because this is your team, but they just don't feel quite right to me. What is it?
They have been just wildly careless with the ball. I mean, they don't punt. Once again today, I think they had one punt and went 17 yards. They had 3 first-half turnovers today, and each one was worse than the last. The first one was a Mahomes pick on a perfectly thrown ball went off Tyreek's hands. Tyreek's done that twice now. A tight end's done it. Mahomes has had 4 picks that hit a player on the hands and they didn't catch it. That's the first one. The second one is a McCole Hardman fumble. And the third one was one of the worst plays of Mahomes' career. It was at the end of the half. You're taking points off the board. It looked like, and this hurts my heart to say, it looked like a play Josh Allen made his rookie season, where it's like, what are you doing? Like, have you never been taught the rules of the game? And so I think the Chiefs, have gotten wildly reckless with the ball on offense, which is why to me, I think I disagree with you in this regard. I think the offense still moves and clicks and looks as good as it has historically. It's just that they're turning the ball over. They have the most turnovers of any team in the league. That's impossible to believe. And obviously the defense has major issues. Today, though, the defense had one embarrassing play where they just left 2 guys wide open, gave them a touchdown. Aside from that, defense played well today. But, yes, it is Washington. It is Taylor Heineke. That is true.
All right, let's segue to another game. I've always said with Baker Mayfield, he's a franchise quarterback, but he's not a number 1 pick. He needs a perfect offensive line, elite receivers, top running backs, and with a good play caller, he can win games. Well, now his tackles are hurt, and he came in without Nick Chubb, and Jarvis Landry's not there. By the way, it's still more talented than half the NFL's offenses with just Peoples and OBJ and Kareem Hunt and a great interior line and a remarkable play caller. But can we now acknowledge, and I'm not really into being right, it's not something I plant a flag on, but when he has average stuff, he's an average quarterback. That's what he is.
He certainly looked bad today. And sometimes strip sacks are not a quarterback's fault. Sometimes they're entirely a quarterback's fault. He had a couple fumbles today that were, yes, his guy got beat, but he had time, certainly on one of them, and you could argue on both of them, should have recognized it and protected the ball, and on one of them protected himself. The interception was terrible. And I'm worried about Cleveland, Colin, because Kareem Hunt got carted off. Chubb was out. Both their tackles were out. Odell got hurt again. You mentioned Jarvis. And Baker hurt his shoulder again. Colin, they play Thursday. Yeah. They're the worst time possible to have your Thursday night game is this week. All of us, Baltimore is rolling. So I feel like that division is almost already out of reach.
I feel about 2 weeks from now, it's Baltimore's and Cleveland at best is playing for a wild card and, battling Cincinnati who can score.
Well, that's the other problem for them is all of a sudden Cincinnati's not a walkover. I understand it's Detroit, but Cincinnati trounced them today. Yeah. Jamar Chase, by the way, my feeling was Cincinnati, you've got to take an offensive lineman. I was wrong. Jamar Chase, phenomenal. Yeah. He's unbelievable every single week. But the fact that Cincinnati's going to be alive now, you look at now what they have working for them is, like, who are the teams in the AFC, Colin, that we know are going to be there at the end? We know Buffalo is. We know Baltimore is. I guess we know Tennessee is because of there's no one else in the division, right? And then Kansas City and the Chargers. That's
Right.
only 5, and there's 2 playoff spots available.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Broncos have plummeted. The Raiders, we'll see. They obviously beat the Broncos today. So I think, maybe that last playoff spot in the AFC, maybe you can get there at 9-8. I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of the year. But Cleveland, I think, is in trouble, Colin.
Well, something I talked about before I got into the interview today was I said this 3 weeks ago on the air. I said the next 7 to 8 weeks are key because Baker's going to be playing contemporaries. I said he's going to play Herbert and then Kyler and then Burrow and then Mac and then Lamar twice. And I said the GM, Andrew Berry, inherited Baker. He didn't draft him. And he's going to watch him on the same field. And Justin Herbert was clearly better, and Kyler Murray was 1,000 times better today. And it's one thing if Baker looks better than old Ben or rookie, even Mac Jones. When you put him up against Justin and Kyler in the last 2 weeks, Nick, you're a general manager. You're going to have to pay him, meaning the defense, you're not going to be able to just pick up a Clowney or a John Johnson at safety. I think the GM this morning, if I'm guessing, they wouldn't give him the bag. And if they did, it would be like $20 million max a year.
Well, the thing is, but that contract doesn't exist, right? So, like, the contract that they might give him, feel comfortable giving him, is one that he would never accept. Right? I mean, Teddy Bridgewater got close to $20 million recently. Like, $20 million is not a thing for him. Now, do I think he would accept a contract sub $40 million a year? Yeah, like $38 million, something like that. I don't think Cleveland wants to give that to him. I think Cleveland is prepared and is going to show they're prepared to do what Dallas did with Dak, which is, you can play this out and maybe we'll even franchise tag you. I like Baker, and I think you at times have been too hard on him, but this has not been good for him. It is not good that the Browns, who do have a lot of talent, have played 3 teams of equal talent, in some way, shape, or form, and they keep losing to them. They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Chargers. They got annihilated by the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals game, you have a lot of issues with the injuries. That's fine, but they got annihilated by them. And this was supposed to be, I picked the Browns to be in the AFC Championship game this year. I thought they could be the second best team in the AFC to the Chiefs. It does feel like Buffalo has jumped ahead of them clearly. The Chargers have jumped ahead of them. And the Ravens have maintained their status ahead of them as they have been ever since Lamar came in the league. That's not a good spot. The point you made earlier about Brady and the AFC, NFC is an interesting one. I think if the Browns played in the NFC, maybe they do pay Baker.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, there's not a lot of good young quarterbacks here anyway. He's one of the better ones. It's like Dak, Kyler, and then a bunch of we'll see, who knows, everyone else is older. But in the AFC, with both of us, I think, believe that Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow will be good one day. Burrow might already be. Mahomes is great. Herbert's great. Lamar's great.
By the way,
Josh Allen's been great.
Carson Wentz, if you get, he's not the problem. Carson Wentz, Nick, has been, now, again, that game barely existed today because nobody watched it. But if you go look at Carson Wentz's numbers, Nick, again today, he played very well. I think Carson Wentz is more talented than Baker. Now, he can be reckless, but he's a bigger, stronger athlete.
But I don't know, stronger, I don't know if that matters with him because his body, like Baker's tough. I give Baker credit. I thought he was out for a month today after, like, J.J. Watt was worried about him. J.J. Watt was like, come over after he did the strip sack. So I don't care how strong Carson Wentz is. Baker, to me, is more reliable because he's always out there. So I have to give him credit for that. But one of the weaknesses for Baker, and this is something that I've talked with you about before, is I don't think he has made the necessary adjustment, and he should have by now, that I was a good athlete at the collegiate level. I am a below average athlete at the pro level. And the escape, I'm going to run, and you're going to get chased down, buddy, by people a lot bigger than you. Guys that, most NFL guys recognize pretty early on. Mahomes is an example. He's like, okay, I am only running. I might move in the pocket or, escape to the side, but I am only trying to run if it is wide open space in front of me, because he knows, even though I could get away from people at Texas Tech, I can't at this level. Baker too often it feels like he thinks, oh, I can hit the corner. And you cannot hit the corner, buddy. You're
Right.
not fast enough. So that, yeah, I don't want to pile on, but I'm worried about them. They play Thursday, man. They're going to play Thursday with a beat-up team for a chance to fall to 3-4. Browns aren't supposed to be 3-4 this year.